These are people who narrowly escaped death. Dougal Robertson. Robertson was a former British merchant navy who gave up the marine life after his wife and son were killed during an attack. So he decided to remarry, become a regular dairy farmer. But at some point in this new path he had chosen, Robertson just couldn't ignore the call of the ocean anymore. Psst! 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 What? Come back. Okay. So he sold the farm, bought a schooner. So he sold the farm and bought a schooner. A very wise decision. So he and his inexperienced family could set sail. At some point during the voyage, Robertson's wife decided to retire at the Bahamas and was replaced by another inexperienced fellow. So not a lot changed. Later in their voyage, they were attacked by a pod of orcas. So they grabbed a few items and bought an inflatable life raft and a solid hull dinghy before Lucette could completely sink. You wish that orca attack was the only surviving they had to do. The group members were doing just about fine, at least until they began to run out of food and water. Oh well, guess we start eating each other then. What? No! Oh yeah? Then what are we supposed to do about food and water? Okay, what about water? So they ate fish and drank Toro's blood for survival. And yes, things obviously got worse, cause just 16 days after the orca attack, the raft became unusable. So they all now had to squeeze into the dinghy. Don't know why I said just when talking about the life raft. Like what was I expecting from an inflatable life raft? Anyways, the group managed to survive for another couple of days before they were rescued by a Japanese fishing trawler 38 days after the orca attack. Joe Simpson. Growing up, Joe was already an avid fan of mountaineering. So in 1985, he and his climbing partner Simon Yates attempted to climb the previously unclimbed west face of a 6.3 kilometer mountain called Ciudad Grande, which had already been climbed before by like 7 people, just not through the west face. So they weren't really doing anything that insanely special. And I just thought I had to point that out. Moving on, they actually succeeded in climbing the mountain, no biggie, but the descent was a whole different story. During the descent, Simpson broke his right leg in a fall, so Yates tried to prevent Simpson from dying by roping themselves together while lowering Simpson down the mountain as far as the rope would allow. Yates repeated this process until he unknowingly lowered Simpson over a cliff edge. Simpson could not climb up and Yates couldn't pull him up either. I think you know where this is going. Oh well, I tried. Time to cut you off. Wait, what? At least give it one more shot. Dude, I've given it enough shots. Now it's either you or the both of us. And I think I'd prefer it if it was just you. No way! This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. You son of a... Pinchilin! By some miracle, Simpson survived the fall and survived for 4 days with barely any food or water before he managed to crawl back to camp where he reunited with Yates. Simpson later wrote a book discussing the whole ordeal called Touching the Void. The book has sold almost 2 million copies worldwide, so I guess it all worked out. Julian Kupke. Julian Kupke, and I'm probably saying that wrong, is a Peruvian-German mammologist who survived a plane crash back in 1971 at the age of 17. Before Kupke boarded the Lancer Flight 508, her mom, Maria, wanted her to return to Paguana with her, but she refused because she wanted to attend her graduation ceremony. So her mom gave in and decided to stay at first. But then later on, they just went ahead and booked a flight with Lancer anyways, which Kopke's father had specifically urged them to avoid due to their poor reputation. Nevertheless, the flight was booked, the plane was struck by lightning mid-flight, and began to disintegrate. Kopke found herself falling 3 kilometers into the Amazon rainforest. She survived the fall probably because she was strapped to a chair. Which is why you should always wear your seatbelts. Hey, that's not fair. Most of us wore our seatbelts. Are you saying we were just unlucky? No. I will hunt you. Kopke survived the fall, but she sustained injuries like a broken collarbone, a cut to her right arm, an eye injury, and a concussion. But hey, at least she's alive. Kopke then went on to spend 11 days in the rainforest with no food or water. while also fending off snakes, insects, and other dangers, until she found a small hut that was set up by local lumberjacks, who later found her, poured gasoline on her infected wound, and used a canoe to transport her to a more inhabited area, where she was airlifted to a proper hospital to be taken care of properly. The Donner Party. In 1846, there was a group of 87 American pioneers that set out on a journey to California seeking a better life. This group was called the Donner Party. This journey would have taken about 4 to 6 months if the Donner Party had followed an established route with established trails, but no, they opted for a different route which brought with it different problems. Problems that in time led to the loss of many cattle and wagons. They became stranded in the Sierra Nevada mountains due to a heavy snowfall. So with their food and supplies running dangerously low, some of the group members had to resort to cannibalism. Okay guys, we're running dangerously low on rations, so we might have to start eating each other. Any suggestions on how we decide who we eat first? Rock, paper, scissors, toss up a coin, let's play punchies. I'm a vegan, I can't agree to this plan of yours. Not that bad. When the group was eventually rescued, only 48 of the 87 members actually survived the ordeal. So this wasn't really a crazy survival story for the entire group. No, just the 48 that survived. The rest just get participation trophies.